And welcome back to the Monster Energy Studios here at DreamHack. My name is Sims. This beautiful man is Avenger. And boy, oh boy, we're down to the last one game, Martin. This has been a roller coaster of a best of 10.
It has indeed. I mean, these favorites just rolling up and taking all these wins. 3 wins for FaZe, 2 for Kinguin, 2 for Liquid.
I like the little song.
Anyway,
Anyway,
yeah.
we're losing minds, but it's been great. Obviously, we've had 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. This is it, though. It all comes down to this one final game. I pretty much think that these teams have now actually booked their tickets and confirmed themselves for DreamHack Austin. But we will eventually bring up the standing and show you exactly how the standing moving into game number 10. And as if by magic, there they are. FaZe Clan 3 chicken dinners, 2,300 placement points, 900 kill points, 3,200. That is a ridiculous amount of points. Now let's think out of the box here. Liquid 2,600, Team Kinguin 2,400, 1,700 and 1,600 for Rogue, Vitality, and Digital Chaos. Now let's think about this logically. So there's 400 points up for grabs if you finish first. Let's say Rogue grab those 400 points for first. Let's say they win the next game. They would put them 7-8. So they put them up to 2,100 points. They would have to go on an absolute killing spree to try. Can you even get that many through kills?
I mean, they have to kill half the server.
You're looking at 30, 40 kills, aren't you?
They have to kill half the server, and Kinguin has to go out on 16th, so it's close to impossible. But I mean, records are made to be broken, or how do you say that? You know that
you're right.
figure of speech, yeah.
Yeah, records are there they're set to be broken. So it would literally mean Rogue killing, hot dropping Kinguin, killing them, and then obliterating the rest of the server. It's not impossible.
It's not.
But it's
highly unlikely.
Damn hard to do.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. This could be a wild game number 10. We could have a few teams just windmilling in and hoping from the best. Who knows? Either way, I want to say a big shout out to all the players. And obviously all the production in the back. Everyone so far, the admin team, has been absolutely fantastic. We've had 1 server restart in a best of 10, which is, it's a bloody good job, is that so far? You know, they've done fantastic work. Obviously, after this, NA qualifiers are continuing. And then next week, we have the NA qualification. We will see our first 3 teams going through. And then after that, it comes 2 and 2. So 4 weeks of PUBG action here at the DreamHack $100,000 tournament. It's going to be amazing.
And it's not an invitational. It's the first non-invitational. Of course, there's GLO, there's a season before it, but not an invitational. Just DreamHack PUBG Showdown.
These boys have gone through some serious games. I mean, what is it? 3, 6, 9, 12,
4 rounds
13,
of
14,
PU3.
15, 16, and then 10, 26 rounds. 26 rounds of PUBG will have won them a spot. And then, again, some of the other guys, next week, you had another 10 on there. 36 rounds that will have gone through to work their way. That's
there are some these teams that haven't made it through the open qualifier though. So
they'll still 26. They'll still be at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see.
That's wild.
Exciting stuff, man.
Almost 40 games of 40 maps of Erangel to make it. Like, that does take an effort.
To fly there, and then you play the by qualifiers as well, which is also going to be a lot of games being able to qualify you there.
This is why I say to these players, like, so much, and at the moment, with how many online competitions and events are online, there's an event every 5, 6, 7, days a week, easily. Maybe 6, easily. With how many online stuff there is, how many competitions, how many events, how many scrims they have to do, because obviously they have to play against the best to be the best as well. So, and then there's hot drop on top of that. It's just PUBG 24/7. On top of that, I mean, you're looking at, 10 hours a day minimum, maybe 12, half a day.
It's more than a full-time job.
It is, and they will reap the rewards from it. The prize money's there. It's a full-time job. It's there for a reason. So I tip my hat to you players. It takes some mean graft to be able to do what you do and pull it off, and you do a fantastic job. So good stuff. Keep it up. But yeah, game number 10 then. How do you think? Are we going to see any wild hot drops, do you think? Is it possible?
I hope.
Yeah?
But I don't think so.
No?
No.
Business as usual, just play your game.
Business as usual, but also try to prove yourself that you're actually worthy of being in this close qualifier, because this is not just teams that already have orcs. This is also teams that don't have orcs, so they need to prove themselves They're able to take those chicken dinners. Red Zone, not a team with an org. Project X, not a team with an org. There's a lot of teams not with orgs that really need to prove themselves as well.
Do you think that's kind of what's happened with Wookie Bookie, Chop Chop, for instance, Lumbermill? I know it's not all of Lumbermill, but kind of going to land, proving themselves.
I mean, I think it's some of it as well, but they've been like consistently proving themselves through this. Wookie Boogie and Gustav from the old Dumbermill lineup here being picked up by Dignitas is of course super important for them. Taking two of the shoot to kill boys, making a fantastic team. I think they're going to be competing in the NA.
I heard last night they got battered. Yeah.
They got chopped.
Yeah, they got the chop. But yeah, to see them with a big name, big brand, obviously on the back, it's good to see. It's just nice to see players being able to pick up these things. But when you look over North America, they've got some big powerhouse names. You know, there's some very strong things. But again, they're starting to get these mixed orgs where it's European players, North American players, very few full high-level North American rosters. I'm sure we'll see one very soon. There's certainly a lot of potential out there with the individual skill level, but for the 10th and final time this weekend, round number 10 on Erangel is live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, not only today, but the rest of the time. Make sure you tweet this stream, use the hashtag, let everyone know what's going on, bring them all in, share it, host it. I don't care. Do what you need to do. If you're streaming, host it up. Come back in a bit. We very much appreciate it. Playing route, let's take a look at it. So, northern entrance. Ooh, it might potentially have a little bit of a crimson pushing into Saverna here, matching two players. Northwesterly direction from the north, heading down south. And that's going to be down in the bottom southerly eastern corner. Rogue not going for the hot drop option. They're actually doing the usual stuff. But we will have a little bit of a fight potentially here between FaZe and the Plumber boys.
Yeah, it looks like the Plumber Mill guys, they're going to be going into the Novo here, and I think FaZe has seen this, so they're going to go for the long jump. They're going to go all the way to Multiplayer where they usually go. Also, of course, the Red Zone boys in the farm here. It's actually we haven't talked a lot about this, but farm is really a huge area to cover. There's a lot of cars, there's a lot of loot. Another thing we haven't covered really is this this inventory management, which is really important. We haven't really talked a lot about it, and I don't think a lot of team talks about it. But you really have to consider. You want as much loot as possible, of course. You want as much bullets as possible. But of course, when you go around looting these, there's so much loot to go through. So you really have to opt out what do you want to do, how much utility do you want to do. Do you want to drop some Molotov? Do you want to drop some nades? What do you want to drop? And how many bullets should you have? Optimal, you want to have more than 200 bullets for your AR. You want to have some nades. You want to have some smokes. Even stun grenades. Stun grenades are absolutely insane. But they are kind of tricky to hit. If you're good at cooking them, you can blind a man for 6 full seconds and deafen him for 10. So these utilities are really important to have as well. And teams like Liquid, they're going to be looted out of their minds. They're going to be fully stacked. They're going to come with full backpacks into these circles.
I mean, generally speaking, the stun, it does fall victim to being behind, obviously, a frag grenade for the frag, for the kill, for the damage. A smoke grenade, they're just so vital to be able to rotate on foot or pick your teammates up. Gents, I do have the vehicle, as you can see on screen, but we'll carry on with this utility management for a little bit because we are still early game. The circle has landed, and she's all the way up in the northwest around the Zaki area.
This is an Avanga circle.
Yeah?
I feel like this is an Avanga circle. I think we're going to see a win from Avanga. I'm just going to call this early.
Actually, there's a couple of shots coming off of Avanga. Enzo Lenzo's taking some bullets himself, so it might be a little bit of a one-on-one battle there where we see an Octave just bail. Bike goes out. Yeah, and we've seen it before. Northern circles, Avanga generally do appreciate and win quite a lot of them, but to go back to the utility management, as you mentioned, obviously with the weight of bullets as well, the heavier the bullet, the more room it takes up in the bags.
5.56 is 0.5 and 7.62 is 0.7, so it's a lot of difference as well.
Do you know what the AWM is?
I think it's 1 per
bullet.
bullet.
It's 1, isn't it? Yeah. It's literally 1. So
SMGs is 0.4 as well. The ACP ammo is also 0.4.
But that's why you only get 20 bullets with an AWM.
Yeah, obviously.
10 per catch, but that's why you've got to make every single bullet count, because if you land the target, it will kill a man. Another thing when you're talking about utility management is it becomes a bit of a bugger when you're running around and you're finding this loot, but you don't have a bag. And then all of a sudden you find a level 1, you have to leave things behind until you find that level 2. The smokes you want to keep as many of, again, building a wall, being able to rotate, or just saving a man, throwing it down and being able to save him during the smokes. Molotovs, generally speaking, you'll see one thrown here and there, but I've yet to see kind of a big play from them. They can be a bit of a nuisance. Smokes also, the one thing that I think people sometimes forget, it's nice to throw them at a building to mask your footsteps. You'll see people approaching them. They'll throw smoke up in the building. Fair enough, smoke goes down, but it's the noise that it makes.
Yeah.
Just that constant gas noise covers your footsteps, being allowed for you to push through buildings and do various things. So kind of the same with the grenade, using it in a different manner. You rather than using it for cover fire, actually covering your steps so you can push into these buildings. comes down a lot to meds and stuff as well. Having the room to actually carry those, because the first days do take up a fair amount of room.
They do indeed. I mean, and often when you loot the bigger areas like Yasnaya, these rogue guys looting the military, Kingren looting the South George, Vanga even looting the North George, you have to inventory manage and you have to weight up what's good. How much do you need? You want as many first aids as you want because you can share them. You want as many energies as you want because you can share them. But you want at least 150, 200 bullets, maybe even more, because if your teammates haven't had a lot, then you need to make up for that later.
What's your favourite, and again, we are just going to have a bit of a chat here because this is the loot phase and a lot of people do need to rotate around, so we'll just keep talking and spitting the reins about PUBG. What's your favourite attachments on a gun? What are the, kind of at the moment, before the new patch hits the live servers, what are the main features and the main attachments of the guns at the moment in competitive?
I mean, it's not a fact, but I think the M4 with the angle grip, because the angle grip gives you 10% fast ADS as well for the short range. So you have an commentator, you have an angle grip, you have an extended mag, and a stock on the M4 and a red dot or holo for close. But for long range, because it's not spray as much, it's more of a tap game, even maybe a short spray. For the 4X, if you do really long range fights, or even the 8X, you have a vertical grip on it, the same setup M4. Otherwise, of course, you want a Kar 98 with a silencer or flash hider on, and of course the bullet loops on it to make it reload faster. But it also depends. It also depends on this setup, because we haven't talked a lot about. There's more and more roles coming into this as well, and right now the snipers, they're not that strong, and they're not strong enough for them to be able to be good. Of course, you can have a Kar 98. You can be lucky to get these headshots that's going to be able to make you breach a compound, but they're just not good enough yet, because when you see those mid to long range five, those 200-300 meters, you're just gonna see somebody picking out their the M4 with the 4X and just spraying or tapping super fast, and they're just gonna hit a lot more bullets, because you can also a lot quicker figure out what lead you should have. So figure out the lead on how you, of course, you're shooting in front of your target because it's running and there's bullet travel time, but still. The M4 is just really strong now, and that's also why we're going to see this gunplay update, where you're going to have some balancing on what do you want to play, instead of just saying this is the meta, this is the best gun. I think it was at PGL they did an interview on all the players, and you literally have 64 players, and they're all sitting, maybe except one or two, saying, with the question being asked, what's your favorite gun, and it's just M4, 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 M4. One or two maybe saying Scar.
There's two things which are going to kind of shift things up. One obviously being the gunplay update, so a lot more kick, a lot more recoil, longer reload times, and you can't really tap fire. The sniper rifles will become a little bit more apparent, and so will the DMRs. Second thing, I know we've got a 6 time coming into play, but the 8 times no longer. Oh, we've got an initial kill there. Voxic coming out, easy kill for there on Filu, so 2 members have already dropped, we've seen. 8 times, been taken off to 16, but can no longer be put onto the ARs fully. So that's at least been taken, some range taken away from them. However, still going to be a 6 times on there, so it might not be.
Opie! Samty taking out Opie.
He's got 1 HP.
He's got solo HP as well.
He's 1 HP.
Is he gonna drop off and just drop to the floor and heal? He has to, yeah. These guys are making their way into Cloudtail, also taking some fire here from the north. Liquid, they're all spread all around. We have lost Opie as well, so Samty's going to be able to go over there and just loot up. He's going to lose the tires. He can't really get away from this. I don't see him surviving this. He's going to make a try.
Level 1, level 1.
1, 2, 3. Connecting shots right now.
Thankfully, he's got the death lid. Like, he has to be so lucky. He's going to zigzag away from that one. Just to kind of continue where we left off, though, but again, obviously, the scopes are no longer going to be on the ARs. More importantly, and this is the bigger thing, the level 3. It's now going to be in a crate. Level 2 helmets are going to be a lot easier to dink. Cloudtail does try to run away between his tail and his legs. Unfortunately, Jim says no. Hits him, knocks him, headshot, he's dead. See you later. 6 players alive. 4 players only dropped so far on Erangel. But less about the other patches. A lot of change coming to PUBG. I think it'll be a long time before we see that. We're very surprised if we, and obviously we haven't even talked about the PGI Invitational. We know that that's all been out in the open. There's 2 million on the line and stuff. We haven't touched on that because that is hype as hell, but I very much doubt we'll see any of these changes come into play, and all this is said and done, so time will tell. But big things in the works for competitive PUBG and PUBG as a game. Looking forward to it. Final round then. Liquid, FaZe, Kingwin. They've played their hearts and souls out all weekend long, and currently they are standing pretty at the top of the board. It would take a godsend miracle for one of those 3 teams, to be eliminated from the top 3.
Indeed. And I mean, as we talked about earlier, these teams, there are teams here, they are not just going to throw off. They're going to be just keep going at it. They want to have good games. They want to prove themselves. Meanwhile, we talk about that. James is going to take out Insolenzo. Havu is one of these teams. They really need to prove themselves. They're having really bad games. They're in the bottom three as we speak as well.
They're pushing on this. I like the aggression.
Yeah, Liquid's going to push on this. Samty also pushing in. He's going to take some fire, but he's going to survive that. He's going to be pushing with a broken level 1 helmet, a broken level 1 vest, and a level 1 helmet. Ibiza also aggressively going in all the way through here. He does have full level 3 though, or 2.
Enzo does fall, bleeds out, so he's dead. James picks up 12 points more for Liquid. Grenade's going to get cooked, and it goes in. It wasn't cooked as long as what I expected to, but Havoki, unless the grenade did find its way inside the room, it's going to do no damage. I don't really mind. It's also going to crack off a first aid as well. Here comes the push into the front building of the cubes here. Scoom's going to go travelling across the road as well, so he can make it to Samty. It can be a 2-and-2 play here. If one of them falls, at least the other one get him up. 4 versus 2, though. They just need to find themselves a little bit of a pick here before breaching it. You still have to be careful, you know, just because there's 2 players up there. Breaching a building, have a shotgun, you can still smash them to a million pieces, you know. Yeah. There is a choke point on the stairs you have to be careful of. So the only way they're really going to kind of do this one is if they get players in this building, potentially a player on the opposing side of the building so they can look through the windows and maybe try and get a pick. James, though, looks like he's going in. Rogue here, I'm guessing they're up on top of the mountain on Georgia Paul's side, on Everest.
Yeah.
So they're chilling.
They're just waiting for the next zone up here. They are inside the zone. I don't really mind. It's going to knock Samty, take him out. Fellow Finn here. EB taking out Havoki. James is going to take down, I don't really mind. That is 1 player left only for Habu.
Checking where the body is. Melts him. 3 kills there for Liquid, but they did trade off by losing 1 player.
Yeah. That is one member left for Habu. It's Georski. He's a bit east, 200-300 meters east in the open deathlight here, so he's going to be all alone. And as we talked about, Habu not having the best of games. They are going through lineup changes as well. Havoki is on tryout / testing out, and he's a new player as well. And this is what we talked about yesterday as well. This new team chemistry. You really have to get to know each other a lot better as well.
Everyone moving in direct front and center of the circle. Sun-touched Imperial whacking off at a few players. They'll get away in the distance, a happy days from them. This is the longer rotation that we've seen from some of them. They have the nice position over here on the 3 stacks, which gives them so much field of view, but they've got to have scopes, which they do. The ACOG does come through. 4 times circle updates. It shifts slightly to the north and slightly to the east. Nobody, thankfully, though. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, like not many players outside the circle. It's almost the same as the previous round, where we're going to have Atlantis, Venice, Watertown, direct front and center.
Yeah.
Ooh, I heard that cannon. Yeah, that's a headshot.
Lockwood connecting on Kramer here, taking out Kramer. Jorski here is also he's in the middle here. You don't really know what he's gonna do. He is alone. All these other teammates were wiped by Liquid. Vitality's gonna go in the water and they're gonna be swimming, maybe crossing the river going into the south. Vitality not having the best of games. They are doing averagely good, but not good enough for the top 3.
The Knights, I think that's a grenade that's gone down, which will be the smoke, allows them to at least get something set up here. They're going to blaze out, move forward. They're going to go on a very high rotation. They have to be careful, though, because Kingwin may potentially hit. Threats are found. That looks like it's going to be Crimson who's actually finding those threats, looking straight across the board. We can see them. Rosshawk for FaZe, though. I like it. Nice play. Take the top area. Celis onto Ewing. Red zone goes down from Macam as well. That's going to be Rogue themselves. Yannick picks one up. Knocks 2, so 2 there from Yannick. These threats are still being found.
Yeah, this is the Windows threat detection for PUBG. Yannick here getting connected from Frost, though. Frost is going to finish him and flush him. Rogue has 2 knocks as well. He's going to push on that. Celis going to finish that off. Jazza, the last player. Oh,
3,
no,
4.
Jazza. It looked like Jazza did get a box splat or something there. He didn't shoot. Yeah, unfortunate for them. Redstone, though, on the other hand, they're going to be able to wipe out Rogue here and get all 4 members alive as well. As we talked about, Redstone, one of these teams that really has to prove themselves.
Well, they've wiped out Rogue. I think that's 16th. Unfortunate for Rogue. May say something may have happened with Jazza there, so feels a little bit bad, man. But nevertheless, they will drop. 52 players remaining. Could be 51. Dodging, weaving, ducking, diving. Chorski's staying alive. He doesn't actually know where these shots are coming from, I don't think. He's looking more towards the southeast. Just be careful of Vitality that's on his back down by the bridge. Araxa's half health, so obviously from that initial engagement that we saw earlier on. Now everyone inside the circle. It's not like any big boy guns are in play unless a team, someone like DC, did commit to the crate over on the side of the hill. Vitality at level 2 chest, 45%. Level 3 helmet, 55% damage reduction respectively. 3 first aids, 7 stims, 9 bandages, happy days for him, good health. M16, does he have any scopes? That's the bigger question. Looks like it's going to be a 4 times. Yes, it is. On the back. He's got the AKM as well, so he can go up close and personal if he wants to. And now we just wait for this circle to shrink. A bit more of a chilled out, kick-back, laid-back game here. Everyone's still got the compound. Everyone's still got plenty of space that they can do their own thing. Harvu do have a couple of players on the bridge. Liquid need to be very careful. They do have the cube stack. One member's overextended to the opposing side of the road, which they have to be very careful of. If Kinguin don't come down upon them, it could be problematic. Lockwood finds himself face. T-Bone finds the blunt end of a 7.62. Tap, 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 hits the smoke, hits the deck. We'll carry on running. Wibble, wobble, jumping. 360 spinning around, just trying to stay alive. It's a long, they've hit him. It's a long shot to hit. A1 comes in onto Larson, finds his face with the 16. And he flushes him as well. 16 doing its job, green gun 5.56. It really does hurt. So it's going to do a lot of damage. Fox 6 POV now. We'll move across and take a look at how Knights are doing. A little bit spread out. They're all, I'd say a little bit spread out. They're all along the ridge line at least, but Kinguin are inside the building. Bit more of a chilled out game. I think it's because it's round 10. It's just kind of everyone just finding the footing and wanting to see how this one plays out, really.
Yeah, and also with this kind of circle, the river's really splitting everything in half. So we're going to see the next zone here, and this is kind of favoring the south side, really close to the last game we just had. And FaZe is the only guys on the eastern side. They have taken this north part of Russia and also the south part of Russia. There's a lot of teams now on the western side and the northern side. They have to make a move. Liquid is one of them. They have to cross the river, potentially either go onto the bridge and take the small island here, or just crossing and going over. It's going to see what's going to happen right now. They are taking fire though. Araxa taking out DC, also taking out Shadow. So they lost 2 members now. Araxa is going to be drowning in that water slowly, casually. And DC is up for some loot right now.
Yeah, they're going to grab the loot, take the boxes, as you mentioned. 3 players, I think, of Vitality have fallen down. We'll take a look at Genside's POV and knocked of Cavern. Red zone themselves, trying to pick up some points here. Can they see it through them? The kill feed, will they grab themselves 12? Rixnaz looking straight across 4 times as well. Lean, lean, wiggle, wiggle. Bullets do come back flying his way, though. Frozer's dead. He's done. Keen finds the target. Sellers also onto D's. He knocks him. In fact, he's killed him, in fact. Excuse me. Keen at least dances back 1. Straight back onto Sellers, so he gets knocked down. 47 players remaining. Rixnaz has the little bit of the defilade here, so he can play and do what he wants. Monkey's also gone as well, so that must mean there's 1 member of Vitality left. Mumino from Ovanga finds the blunt end of a 7.62 from the DP. He's dead. Keen also takes out Sellers. He's going to die from the zone. Wheels is going across though, sees them running, pings him through the window, knocks him out the car. Says, not today, my little friend. You ain't driving nowhere, boy. He's dead. Great push there from Crimson.
Oh, and Drainus actually stole that kill right now. He picked him off. So he stole that kill from Reels. Oh, look at that far rotation from Knights. They're outside the zone, making the play, going to the south, and that is the right call. Look at that southern part. It's all open. They can easily come into that. Everybody else in the western side and the middle side of the map. FaZe alone on the eastern side. Oh, Kavorka taking some damage from Kinguin right now. Kinguin is on fire right now. They're just pushing them. They have to make their way into the zone, though. Gaxi, our MVP from yesterday, 23 kills in 5 games.
I've just seen Keen go down, so does that mean that Avanga are gone? Completely from the competition? Are they out to 15?
Yeah, we're down to 14.
So maybe he's just fallen. Yeah, maybe the CIS boys did just fall in 15th place. Gaxi with the smoke, trying to at least cover his footsteps because he knows he's going to have some problems as he heads up this hill.
Pop, 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 and move for it.
If he just got oozed. by Vic of all guns, and he actually gets finished him off. He knocked James as well. So Vic's just knocked 2 people with an Uzi. He's chilling.
You can't underestimate the power of the rate of fire on that gun as well.
Bro, it's so nasty.
It's so fast. The rate of
stock
fire
and,
is insane. Max is going to jump out. He's going to get taken out by Eggy. He's going to finish him as well. Finish him off, taking that 12 points for Genside. They have 4 kills in total right now. FaZe, on the other hand, they have 3 members left. They're going to be pushing Vic here. He has a level 3 helmet, but no vest. He's making a slightly sneaky, beaky play right here. Xedi, if he looks up, he could see him. Vic is gonna just sit on this corner here, trying to get some coverage.
How many more kills can he get with this Uzi?
He has 3.
Is it 3 or is it 2?
3 in the bottom.
With the Uzi though, specifically.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
Uzi specifically. We've already seen 2. Took 2 members of. Oh, go on, drop on him. Oh no! Sees the gun sticking out the window, so he at least clips 1. Sun touched. He took a bullet to the brain. He's dead. That's Crimson again. Empty. Careful. Steps out. Steps in. Vic does 4. Will opt to run for the stairs. He's got plenty of weaponry. I think that's a 3 chest, 3 helmet, M4 on the back. No one's going to save him now. FaZe do take the compound. They make the way inside Atlantis, Venice, Watertown, Sunken City. You call it whatever you want. But once again, it's theirs. It's almost a replica circle from the previous one.
It is indeed. I mean, there's a lot of water in, and these teams are just fighting for holding this north side. It's not really a favorable position to be in because you have to cross towards the open as well. Kingwin, still 2-man strong. Imperial, on the other hand, they have made it into the water, and Pete looks to be one of the only members alive from Imperial. FaZe, they are 3 guys alive, but Yamanoda and Navi on the eastern side, and a lot of people in the Sunken City as well. Caxi here, he's going to try to get some more kills from this tournament. Must be the highest killing player of this whole tournament. It looks to be like 23 kills yesterday. He did get some. Oh, insane nade by Bard.
His body just goes flying. Is he now going to be in the line of sight? Smoke will go down, at least either distract or give him some cover to move through. Reels and T-Bone there to disconnect him from this line. I'm sorry, mate, but you're on your own. That nade 50% land, and it splits up 2 different areas.
All these teams, they have to make their way into it. Kingwin here, they have a really good position there. Now the only team in the north with this zone going that far north. And DC, they are inside this zone here. They have to make a way for it. I think that Fausto is the last player from Digital Chaos. No, Yok is on the other side as well. They are in, okay, so there are 4 guys alive actually, but they have to make their way into the zone. Everybody is on the southern side. Yugi, the Plumbers, Knights, DC has 1 player there. Red Zone has to make their way as well. FaZe, Crimson, all these teams are there.
I kind of feel sorry for Nice here. They're between a rock and a hard place. They've got 3 teams looking down the barrel. Just staring down the gun. Tap, tap, tap. AUG in hand. This is a bad boy 5.56 weapon. It's a laser beam and it just shoots. Oh, God. The rate of fire is insane. Absolutely insane. Very little kick. Yuki with the angle. The M4 on the red dot. They know where FaZe are now. They have the information, so they've got to be very careful here. The Plumbers on home turf in water. I can see FaZe cooking a grenade, but the grenade does tap him, push him out from behind the broken wagon on the side. They have to be very careful because they're still, I think, outside the zone here. FaZe are literally gatekeeping 3-4 teams right now.
Yeah, Knights, Plumbers, Vitality, DC, all these teams, they have to make a way for it. GMT connecting 3, taking down Hayes. Looks like that was the Plumbers. They just got flushed in the Sunken City.
Great, now it's time for the Knights to step up to him. Fausto has hit the deck though. He needs to be very careful because that's Shiv. Vitality, they enter the fray. Quick rotation up and down. Jempty trying to bait out this 1 player. Kramer knows he's there. You can hear the footsteps. At least looks across the bar, hits a few on the side of the wall, but Fuzz has his number, he has his angle. Has to be careful from behind though. There's 4 teams in here. DC, Vitality, FaZe. The Plumbers, I think, are still in it. 12 teams, 25 players remaining. Scoom now made it to the other side of the island, so at least has got in front of the blue zone. Looking to see where he can end up next. Can he once again, can Liquid pull a top 7 finish?
It's going to be a hard one for him. He has to go swimming, but luckily the weather in Herankle is good. The water is above 2 digits Celsius. Drayden here making a move. They are not inside the zone. He's pushing here. He's getting pushed. But look at DC. They have crossed to the other side. So he's on the island. They are on the island here. Knights still there. T-Bone taking down Jambave. FaZe there inside. Jimty has taken some shots and they're taking a fight. The next zone has popped and it's straight on the island. Gaxi taking out Pipers.
Oh,
that is
boy.
Crimson out on 12th.
That's a lot of the deal on another player. Kingwin hit the water. Hexetia just standing down. Drayden comes around the corner, sees one. Can he find a second of FaZe? Oh my god, Hexetia, you beast! Leans on the edge, peeks it for a second. That's about 3 HP. He knows where this last player is. He can see. He can get the first aid off. Drayden will go crawling back. The walking wounded right now. Voxic also going to stim up, but he knows where this one player is. Oh, it's risky getting a player, but I think he does indeed have the cover of the wall. Jemty's going to have to be so careful. As soon as he gets up here, needs to hide straight away. Voxic throwing down the smoke. He might be able to get Drayden up if he's careful. Drayden's done a good job by moving it in, but he's only been allowed to do that by his teammates at least knocking some of the FaZe members, and here comes the FaZe push. They're both looking. Jemty more than likely looking for a helmet because he doesn't have anything on whatsoever. Doesn't find him. Not even a level 1. Hexetia tries to take him to the sword though. 3 members of FaZe still up. One of them's crawling. They might have to leave him now because the blue's going to push them and it's going to really hurt.
That is also Skoom in the top 7 now. 7 teams alive, 16 players. Kingwin on the north side, they're going to take this really well. Na'Vi has already crossed here on the southern side, so they already have 3 players on the other side. FaZe, they're going to run on the bridge while Na'Vi is under it as well here. Pokemolodai taking out Jemty, that is a knock. Phosphase is still there as well. Phosphase is going to be taken up by Na'Vi. That is FaZe out in 7th. It's not going to matter though, they have already qualified.
Oh, Skoom, he's made it into the top 6 for Liquid. Still staying alive. You can hear the AUG raising hell for teams. Be getting the first aid off down on the side there. Going to cook a grenade. In it goes. Does it bounce off the side though?
Oh no.
Could bounce off the side. Nope. Skoom himself wanting to try and pick up another 12 kills. 12 kills, excuse me. That'd be wild if he did. 12 points if he can finish off another one. He's got a level 3 helmet. Level 2 chest. Happy days for that. 45% damage. Reduction. Miraku, not Miraku, may find Skoom here. They know he's down just underneath there. Looks like we've got Pity just underneath the bridge. Gaxi's going to hold back and hold the angle. I like that. Play the defensive side, keep the people under the bridge and on the other side of the bridge at bay. The rest of his teammates will move in. Shiv playing for placement, which we've seen him do before, to be honest with you. He's a master at staying alive. He's a beast when it comes to taking one-on-one fights. Skoom, see you later, buddy. 6th place for Liquid. Amazing work to at least stay surviving for so long to get them up there, get them in the top 6, top 7 again and again and again, time and time again.
Yeah, they did get 2 chicken dinners as well with some massive kills, 15 and 17 kills, and it's really cemented them at the top. They're surely through to Austin as well already, but DC here, they really want to prove themselves getting that 2nd chicken dinner. Or is it going to be Kingwin? Vard taken down by Mio. DC here with the ult, level 3 helmet, level 3 vest, both a bit broken bow, but Ewan, amazing shot here. He's going to push though, he's going to take the under. Oh, a nade by Yokis coming in, taking out Gaxi, making the whole open play here. 2 members down from Kingwin, and players on this northern side, they can just push this because Kingwin are trying to rest and trying to get this revive off.
Yep, Shiv's just chilling out in the blue. He's just rezzing through it. I don't think he'll be able to approach the circle. He's running at the same time. I think he's just waiting for this circle to end his life and use up all his meds. Vard gets a couple of taps off on the approaching players just on the coastline there, so at least they now know exactly
Pete.
where he is. P comes in, 1, 2, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. He's dead. 4 teams remain, but DC, they've been picked apart. There's one. Ewan's gone down. Mihu's about to as well. Can we see Yokis fall victim?
Na'Vi here looking to get their first chicken dinner in this qualifier. Here, Shade taking that kill, taking that 2 kills. That is now only Yokis alive. 2 teams left, 4 players. We have some knocks on each side. Yokis can potentially take up Mio in the open.
Okay, so it's a 3 versus 2, but we do have a big boy gun in play for Digital Chaos.
I don't think that they picked up the gun on Ewan because
Did
it
not
was
they leave
Ewan. I think they had to leave him behind. Otherwise, they are on the edge maybe. I'm not sure though.
Yeah,
Yokis.
this is just a firing squad, isn't it? It's going to be a problem.
And they can maybe potentially here. Yokis firing back on Shade. Drain is gonna knock him, and that's it. Drain is taking the double. Na'Vi getting their first chicken dinner in this qualifier.
But the question is it too little, too late? How many kills? 6, 7?
9.
9 in total. Pigeon Note for 1, Shade with 3, Drainers with 3, Pokemolody with 2 themselves. You can just look at the teams down the side. Red Zone in 11, Crimson. Plumbers down there, unfortunately, in 13. DC, Kinguin, Vitality. 5th, we see Sun Touched and the rest of the Imperial members. Overall, though, fantastic game. Congratulations, obviously, to Na'Vi for winning their first chicken dinner. But the bigger question is, though, can they go further? I don't think that's going to be enough to get them into the top 3 because of how their placement were in the further one. The other chance, we can do it next time round. But there's still going to be some killer teams. No matter which 3 teams leave this qualifier today, there's going to be some killer teams in there. I'm a bit disappointed in Rogue. Kind of, at the end, fell flat a little bit. 2 16th-place finishes.
I'm not sure I would call it disappointed. It's a rough competition as well.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
It's
I'll say disappointed for Rogue.
Yeah,
I'll say it's not
on
Rogue.
behalf of them. Yeah, it's unfortunate for them, but of course they do, as you say, they do get a second chance here. Obviously, they would have hoped for maybe that there was the top 5 getting all the events. I'm not sure if they're still in the top 5 though, but there's going to be 3 amazing teams going to Austin from this, leaving this qualifier, and then, as you said, 3 new teams. Maybe not as respectful to each other, as respectful to each other's loot spawns as well. So we're going to.
I think Rogue has to. You can't knock Rogue. You can't knock Na'Vi. I think Vitality need to go away and kind of have a word with themselves and to see what went wrong. Watch these VODs back because we know they can do better than what they have been doing. I don't think we saw chicken dinner from them, did we?
Nope.
No, we didn't. And
3 from FaZe, 2 from Liquid, 1 from DC, 2 from Kinguin, Na'Vi, and Red Zone.
I think DC is really underrated. I think if DC gets something good going, they can really start to barrel. It'd be interesting to see if any of the teams from the open bracket do decide to drop on Pachinki, cause them some problems. We've seen it before. Method C9 is an example. We have seen it in the past where teams kind of will fight off for certain areas and patches. But I think DC's rather underrated. I think we'll definitely see a lot more from that team. I believe in Fausto. I think he's a cracking player, and same with Ewan as well. Like you mentioned, the old BR players that know how to snipe, they know how to kill. So I think we'll see big things from them. Vitality again, as I did mention, Rogue, Vitality, DC. There's all these different teams that are just coming into the fray. Honestly, it's anyone's game.
Yeah,
and we've got 3 new teams adding to it, and there's only 2 spots.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say even between Vitality.
These 4 teams for me, one of them is 100% going to it. Maybe even 2 out of those 4.
I think you're right. I think that's not unfair to say, to be honest with you. And if you are wondering why we are just kind of talking on for a bit, we are getting the scores lined up in the back. But as you can appreciate and imagine, because this is such a prestigious event, there's so much going on, there's so much on the line, all the admins have to do all their jobs and make sure everything's correct, all the points are correct, all the standings are correct, everything's final and present, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And there's a lot of stuff on the line. Anyway. There's 3 spots at DreamHack. There's all the flights. There's everything else. So you can appreciate it. We have to kind of talk for a little bit, get you these final standings and see which guaranteed 3 teams will be going to play at the DreamHack PUBG $100,000 LAN tournament. It's going to be amazing. I hope you guys join us either on Twitch or in person, to be honest with you. You can still get tickets now and come down. There is a BYOC there. So if you want to be playing in it, get your tickets, get your flights, do what you need to do. Go get your visas sorted, get your rest.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing, and I mean, I've had a pleasure casting you.
Pleasure casting me.
I'm casting with you. I'm not a. I really had a good time casting with you, and it's been really good games.
Your color is amazing. Honestly, your color is amazing. That's why I think you and Toffee's on a desk. Like, it's so good to listen. Obviously, Toffees does keep a good eye on the North American scene, so we know he brings all that insight. But you and Toffees on the desk, I can sit and listen to you all day. But your colour's been amazing, so well done, man.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff, brother.
Appreciate it, yeah. And of course, we also have next week. together.
North
as
American.
well. North American as well.
So that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Any kind of teams that you're looking? I mean, we spoke about a little bit. Not United or Envious.
I think that Ghost, Optic, and Totality they're such strong teams right now. Obviously, Totality is still looking for a fourth, as far as I know. So they're really looking to seal that fourth member. So if you are a top player, top player, maybe reach out to these Totality boys because they are still looking for a fourth, as far as I know. Interrogate and Smithy and Purdy, they're really good guys. But they're really strong, and even though they had an unstable roster, they've been doing so well in the leagues.
I'm right in saying Interrogate played, subbed in for someone at
FlyQuest 5 or 6 as a top fragger.
Even back on Noble, you could see he definitely had potential.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen him playing for a while now, and he's great. We've seen him on Twitter, always talking about PUBG, always playing. That the man's a little bit of a beast. I think for me, I'm looking forward to seeing C9 to see what happens. As you said, GLL, they can kill.
Yeah.
They can say yes.
Getting their
Split
own
off.
separate invites.
I think that's been a long time coming, to be honest.
Yeah.
Again, proven.
Just look at the placement points here. Not maybe you can frag out and everything, but look, 600 more points, 550 more points than Navi Kinkin has. 2,000 placement points. Digital Chaos doing really well as well, but their kills are not matching that 550, 60 something lead on them. I think they kind of lost hope that it's going to be possible. So they might have done the maths, sitting with the math trace, trying to calculate, and it's gonna be a rough run for them.
Okay, so Navi Digital. Last chance European online qualifier. We will eliminate FaZe
to that. So make sure that you tune in next Saturday at 8 o'clock CST.
Really big shout out really quickly to our sponsors, Monster Energy and of course Corsair. We couldn't put this on without you guys. And of course the guys in the back, the admin team, the production,